Tonight, our memo is at the doorstep of devolution and on the desk of the conveners and participants of the conference that is set to take place this week. The 8th Devolution Conference is set to kick off in Eldoret in Uasin Gishu County this week. The risk we are facing here is, to many a Kenyan, it may appear to be an extravagant, taxpayer monies wasting, out of office expedition and per diem collecting exercise for the who is who, but with not as much to show for it on the Mwananchi's end. They dread to think that the most they will see coming out of the high-level event are the videos, pictures and more content on social media, accompanied by news items on pronouncements with not much action or follow-through. Kenyans want to know how their taxes have been deployed and if they have met the objectives that were declared publicly and not the funding of the greed of individuals. This is a very important week for the country, on paper at least, and the president himself has been very keen on saying that it is time to work for the people of the great republic and not time for empty talk. Now, with tens of millions of shillings being spent on this conference, what Wanjiku wants to see is less of a talk shop and more return on investment. Even basic sensitivities demand that it will be more than the women and men in suits returning with nothing to show for the investment in time, money and hope. Yes, hope, one of the most lucrative things to sell, especially in this economy that is doing more battering than bettering the lives of millions. The political class, who make up a significant constituent of the attendees and participants of the forum, know how sellable hope is all too well. Hope in this case is the embodiment of that straw that the most vulnerable will stretch out their feeble hands to clutch onto. When you have people dying because of lack of medicines, far fewer than required medics, broken down equipment occupying hospital floors, people having to buy and carry their own gloves to a medical facility for an operation while being asked to bring their own blankets for admission, this is surely an admission of failure somewhere. And this is what needs to be addressed in the 3 days of executive sit-downs, because we have a problem. When you have businesses hardly breaking even because the pathetic states of the roads are competing with that of some hospitals, and so their vehicles' wear and tear costs have risen to the heights their profits would only wish to ascend to, we have a problem. When the markets they are depending on to make ends meet or for others to buy basics are in deplorable conditions, yet they're paying taxes through the nasal channel, it is a matter that should be addressed, and not in fine-sounding words, but firm, tangible actions, because we have a problem. When people are battling hunger, insecurity, empty and perforated pockets, and they daily walk by stalled projects financed by their taxes, towering over them like high school bullies spitting in their faces, we certainly have a problem. So many examples that can be given here of how the state of the nation is painted in dark colors on the canvas that is the "do not reduce this into a political punching platform" that will only serve the purpose of a few individuals, then try and drag all the rest of us into it, where politicians will take to the podiums to insult each other, and ultimately the intelligence, trust and resources of the people of Kenya. You must keep your irrelevant to the public fights aside and collectively join hands to fight corruption, hunger, sickness, poverty. Let it not be about the corruption among leaders, hunger for power, manifest sickness that is the poverty of humanity, playing out as, quote, "it is our turn to eat, even if they starve to death." If you really mean business, use this platform to, among other things, call out and initiate firm action against those who fail to deliver their promise to Kenyans, those who have been bestowed the privilege of being part of the journey to freedom but have opted to finance their own lavish slavery, those who've allowed themselves to enjoy blood money toast with concoctions of Mwananchi's sweat, blood and tears. Call them out. Do something. We have said on our memo before that Kenya is a country that is not just home to many people battling economic poverty, but also poverty of trust. We have trust issues, so do something to get us out of this hole. Please don't grant wordsmiths an easy time with the low-hanging fruit in the word devolution. Devolution. So dress up, go to the forum and make a real difference, not just sweet sound bites, quotable quotes, tweetable tales, but actual action that will exorcise the evil and devil in devolution. Instead, initiate and ignite real change. Otherwise, those will be days of, in President William Ruto's famous words, kizungu mingi na catwalk.